I think maybe every 3 years it changed my mind, and not stop only for the character arts. For me, interesting everything.
Okay, cool. And
And for me, not problem jumping from the character art in concept art and technical art and hardware and game design.
yeah, yeah.
It's so interesting.
You're listening to Art Heroes Podcast, the show to help you thrive as a digital artist. Tune in to learn how to transform your passion into a career. Get inspired by other kick-ass 2D and 3D artists and find out what it takes to be an art hero.
Yeah, I am working in industrial, I think, 11 years, and first years I worked just did some environment artist and did some props and another stuff. The next level after 4 years, I think it was characters, and after it's concept art. And last 2 years, 3 years, I did on the concept art and create some idea. And last 3 years, I worked in the laboratory, and I have position team lead and art team lead, and we do some cool stuff for the VR project for the industrial team and the industrial guys.
Wow, that sounds really amazing. So I don't know, like to what extent you can talk about it, but maybe can you share a little bit about your VR projects? Like what kind of use do they have? Is it like characters or is it again like environment? Like what do you guys create?
Pipeline, it's like in-game, like a game project, but it's a little bit different because it's so many nuance for the pre-production and production. And for example, we did maybe 5, maybe 6 training projects for the RGD. How it's in English? RGD.
Like Russian railroads?
Yeah, railroads. Like this is when we create roads, when we fix it roads and fix it some stuff for and some beacon game, we can edit in game in real time and fix it every small detail. I work it in the one laboratory, but we have 5 laboratories, and when we create project, we connect with everyone laboratory. We create one big project, but separate. But we did a separate little bit part for this project, and this is art, characters, vehicles, and end game, and maybe some mechanic for the simple mechanic, how it's fix it, how it's drop it, and whatever we need.
Yeah, amazing.
And next up, we connect this everything. Connect with neurosets. Connect with neurosets and connect with big data. And there's the they have a lot of that. A lot of that.
Wow.
And we work it with him that, and connect everything what we do.
Wow. So basically you're saying that you guys are creating training system for like employees, like based on VR, like in VR.
That's
All right. So and how long is the whole training process? Like your final project, like how long does it take for people that go through it, like basically go through it?
Yeah, it's a smaller project. We have 1 month, but usually it's 3-4 months. Like this is. I think we did 3 projects in 1 year. Yeah, three projects. Not a lot, but it's so expensive project.
Yeah, I can imagine. So
Mhm.
there is like and how big is the art team? Like how many of you guys like work on the art component of it?
H people, yeah. Art,
Yeah.
yeah. Art team, yeah. H people, yeah. And another 5 people. It's this program guys. Is we help us did some do some mechanic for the art.
And you as a team lead, like I feel that VR is still a pretty new like is a pretty new technology. So what do you
Yeah,
think are
that's
your
right.
biggest challenges, and how do you decide even on or I don't know if you decide on the pipeline specifically. So do you see that there is always like new things that you have to add, or your workflow is pretty stable now?
Yeah, usually this is a standard workflow. It's game standard workflow, but uh, some project we use it self workflow. What we self um, explore or self fantasy about workflow, but I mean product for self workflow.
So, what are the like? If I'm just thinking that there's a lot of artists in our audience that would like to explore VR as like as a medium. Like, what can you suggest as a lead in this space? What do you think are the essentials, and is it any different for
Yeah,
an artist?
this is yeah, everything different, and we have 2 artists who work it in VR each hour in the day.
Eight
10
hours a
how
day.
yeah 10 how in the day. Yeah, we have one concept art guy. He worked it all day in the VR.
Okay. So, so what are the tools that you can recommend?
This is sketch. Uh, I forget
Like, I think you're talking
for
about the VR sketch, right?
yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
VR
Yeah.
sketch. Yeah, that's right. I forget because concept art and concept guy it's a little bit different life.
Okay.
he have different life in VR, and he have special tools in VR. We just not don't take him
Okay. But it's like, so what do
because
you?
yeah
Yeah.
because he did some magic for us.
Okay. So what do you do in VR as a 3D artist?
I think everything, and so we do so many hard surface, and this is usually pipeline. And when you expert in VR, it's usually model, and if you use it, usually tools like 3D Max, Maya, it's no problem. This is normally, and
Okay.
we did some hard surface, so many hard surface, and for why I talk about the concept artist and concept in the VR because he did for us level design in VR
Huh.
and UE design in VR, and this is a little bit different. We cannot do so cool design in the usually tools.
So basically, level design is done in a separate platform, like with a
Yeah,
separate tool. And then all like, for example, the hard surface elements and the characters, they can be imported from your usual tools like 3D Max. So technically speaking, if you're a hard surface artist, you can be just as successful in VR as you are in like, like normal environment. You just need to use your typical tools.
oh, typical tools. This is Substance Paint, Model, Maya, 3D Max, and 3D Code.
Yeah.
This is usually tools what we use it every day. Yeah, like this.
So talk to me a little bit about hard surface, because that's actually how I got to know you and your art.
So starting maybe 6 years ago uh, when I worked in one casual company, and I need start to do some tank. And
Tank.
when I started to do tank, I love this is hard to face. And the next year I just level up in this is technical.
Mm-hmm.
And how I teach, how I learn this is hard surface. I think this is to learn in the another company. When I move in another company, you have so many cool people who have higher level like you, and they just taught me how it's do best, faster, strong, and better. Just learning in the company, in the
Yeah,
project,
on the
in
job. So, I mean, like if you're lucky to be in the position when you can like already learn
yeah,
something while you're like doing the job, that's like
yeah,
I think the best case scenario, definitely. So,
yeah.
for you now, like how do you identify a good hard surface piece? What do you think makes a good hard surface
If
piece?
the model looks like photo, yeah, like photo, and have roughness like photo, and yeah, that's a good hard surface. If you have good roughness, good specular in the hard surface model, this is good model. If you have not good query frame, it's not problem. It's not
Hmm.
problem. Yeah, if it, so big problem if you not have photo specular and good specular in the model.
What do you think is the hardest part then? Like, is it then about lighting or texturing or like modeling itself?
I mean modeling itself. When
Yeah.
you just see it's empty model, empty hard surface.
Mhm.
If you have so good specular in the all surface, this is good.
Cool. Very interesting. And so are you currently learning like more about like hard surface, or what are you currently like learning as an artist?
Here, maybe last 2 year, I learning, but not in the another artist. I learning hard surface. For example, in photoscan because
Mm.
we have so many photoscan and we did so many photoscan hard surface and every scanning cassette we learning in every one scanning cassette how it looks how it's different form because it's real we can
Yeah.
see a little bit different we can see how it's different self model and how it's different real model in 3D viewport, not just a picture in and the viewport, and we can see this is in viewport two model.
So how has scanning changed like hard surface modeling in general? Like do you know, or like can you see that there has been like major changes in pipeline
Oh,
from
it's
like when scanning like has become so widely available?
scanning is so easy. if you, if you can scan, just do it. Scan. It's so easy and so cheap. Yeah, it's different pipeline when you have scan and how it's different. He he just easy.
Hmm. So you just work
Uh,
with the existing like raw data.
yeah, and what I like in the photo scan is best proportion because when you did self hard surface and another stuff, uh, you need will be strong with proportion. You need correct everything and see how it's correct proportion for the real model for the uh, I mean we have so many problems with proportion when we
Yeah.
did hard surface self, but when we take 3D scan, it's a real proportion.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
And how can scanning technology be used for projects um, that are not um, like that you can't necessarily scan? So I don't know, like some historical objects, or like are there any overlaps in between, let's say, the assets that you can find available like in databases like by or something, with creating objects that are that like that don't necessarily exist? or like
Uh,
it's still like two separate worlds?
this is yeah, a little bit separate for us, but it can if you a little bit change model
Uh-huh.
and maybe correct model because it's a different proportion. You need to change a little bit proportion and additional like fantasy detail, and that's right. It's a fantasy asset.
There you go.
you
Okay.
if if you have good conception, good concept guy in your pipeline, you can. Why not? You can because everything is so same. If you use it backpack, and this is backpack same. If you use it in the fantasy project, it's same in the real. Just a different skin, maybe different pattern and different proportion. That's right.
Crazy, crazy. So are you saying that hard surface artists will lose their jobs because now there is so much scan data?
No, no, that's it's so funny story because every month we talk about this. Is we lost? It's crazy. We all lost works, but no, it's next level. This is just
Okay.
next level, and uh, okay, you not need the hard surface, but you can manipulate with this hard surface. You can you can additional more detail, more fantasy, more your uh, exploration,
All right.
and this is asset have and the future. This is asset will be better and so expensive, more expensive, and every level it's so expensive.
So do you still work on any personal projects?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe last 4 years I do some personal project. I have two personal projects. This is two game,
To
action
games.
game. Yeah, action game and RPG game. And
Cool.
when I tire from one game, I move into the next game.
So are you alone like in that? Like are you creating it all by yourself?
No, 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 not alone. It's I think we uh, I have team and we six, 7 people.
Wow. So everybody is just like working in it
Yeah,
as a passion project, and it's just like
yeah,
kind of
free
a
time, just free time. Yeah, just
right.
free time. This is for self fun.
Okay. Is it VR?
No, 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 because I have so many VR.
Okay, that's
No,
enough of VR in
yeah, not
life.
enough. Yeah, enough VR.
Cool. And what are you doing for the games? Like, are you making characters or like hard surface?
Game designer. It's a creation uh, world, all worlds. Yeah, this one and concept art, game design, and character art.
Wow. So, how long does it take actually to make a game?
I
Since now
think
you're
maybe
making two.
4 years, maybe 5 years, like this.
When did you start?
5 years ago.
So you're going to release soon?
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no.
so it's
This is
like probably another several years.
yeah,
But like for game design, I'm sure there is like a separate set of tools that you guys are using, except like except the tools that we all use for modeling and like building characters. So
yeah. It's different. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
like yeah, I don't know. It seems like a huge challenge, like making a game from scratch. Like
Yeah, it's huge challenge. Yeah, that's right. It's hard,
yes.
but it's so interesting and so funny because you create some gameplay and talk with all guys and think, yeah, okay, why not? Just try and think um, how it's make in real, how it's make this is gameplay and this is game mechanics because we sit and fantasy and mind about think not mind think
Yeah.
about the different interesting mechanics, not
All
battle,
right.
not life.
All right. Okay. And what was what was your biggest challenge for making the game? I bet it's not the tools.
I think it's make some mechanic. This is so hard for me, and not only for me.
Okay.
Because when you do some concept for the game, oh, okay, this is fine. We just take this and jumping and a crazy jumping, maybe six crazy jumping.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but next time it's how is do this one?
That I wanted to ask you, and because I'm like, really curious. You mentioned a little bit that, like you changed your mindset, and you've got like, like you have like a healthy mindset about your, work in the industry that you got from some of the artists that you worked with, like.
Yeah, I change. I think maybe every 3 years it changed my mind, and not stop only for the character arts. For me, interesting everything.
Okay, cool. And
And for me, not problem jumping from the character art in concept art and technical art and hardware and game design.
yeah, yeah.
It's so interesting.
And how did you get to work with, other artists? Have you always been based in Russia, or you worked somewhere else?
Last 3 years I worked only with Russia, but
Uh-huh.
before I working for many countries. I have been in the Dubai working 3 years in the company. I have been in Argentina and worked in Buenos Aires maybe 1 year with Danny Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
We
with
all
Danny
love Danny
Bell.
Bell here.
Yeah, he cool guy. Yeah, I work with him. And um, when I come back in Russian, I work with freelance in another country like China, Germany, and USA. So many.
Wow.
But last time I worked only with Russian and with the self project.
So, what's your number one tip for combating distractions when working from home?
Will be alone.
Okay.
Uh,
So, and
when
like, how do you overcome it?
how it's overcome, I not correct understand. What do you mean?
So, like, for
Explain.
example, when you work from home and you can't concentrate and you're very
Yeah.
distracted, so what do you do?
Okay. Just go in the walk.
Brilliant.
Yeah, go away from home.
Okay, so just like don't work. Okay, amazing.
Yeah. This is for marker for me. You not work, not want work right now.
Okay, just don't work. Okay, got
Yep.
it. Got it. Amazing. Number two, what's your favorite tradition or holiday?
Traditional
Tradition or holiday?
holiday. My birthday.
Okay, amazing. That's a nice tradition. Some people drop this tradition by the time they're like 15. So
No,
yeah.
my birthday.
Yeah, okay. What's your favorite way to get in some exercise? Like, what sports do you like?
Oh, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still practice?
Yep.
Okay. Dangerous. Okay. What's your most used emoji?
Emoji. It's like anime, like this
Ah,
guy.
okay. Yes, yes, yes. All right. What's your source of inspiration?
or, for example,
Yeah, like for example, when you want to be creative, like where do you go to get inspired? I don't know.
uh,
Like, do you go to museums? Do you look through art station? Do you, I don't know, like.
no, no, I just go away in the walk.
Okay, again, amazing. Love this. Okay, so how do you celebrate little victories?
Celebrate with victory. How when
Yeah,
I am victory.
yeah. When you have a little victory, I don't know, like a finished project or I don't know, like something
Go
successful.
go away.
For
Just
a
walk.
walk? All right. So, if you could see one movie again for the first time, which one would that be?
Elder Ring.
Okay, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you're like one of the fans. Okay. Awesome. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
For example, how it's what do you mean?
Yeah. So, for example, like somebody, what's the best advice you've ever heard in your life? Advice like a tip, like do this. I don't know, like, oh, what is good for you?
Oh, okay. I think travel in Argentina.
So, like, it was from traveling. Okay. Amazing. You see? Yeah. That was definitely good. And finally, what's your backup career? If you're not an artist, who would you be?
I think, yeah, I know. Engineer,
An engineer. Yes.
architect or engineer.
Okay. Well, that's a good choice. I mean, that's not too far actually. That's like,
Yeah.
still there. I can still see a little bit of hard surface peeking through that career.
It's not bad. Yeah.
Oh
my God, that's awesome. Yuri, thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Art Heroes Podcast. Check out www.artheroes.co for show notes, more interviews, and free tools made for you by our team of mentors. Tune in next week for more inspiration, and keep up the great work, hero.